Hey y'all, it's Stephanie. I'm back today. Today is Saturday. I had to think for a second. Today's Saturday, and I'm back with a video that I've never done before. And I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of trial and error on this video, and I'm probably going to... I had it all fixed. Okay. I had it... this is really the first time I've ever done anything like this, so... I'm sure I'm probably going to say some things that are not right, I guess you could say, and things that are probably going to change over the next few months as we learn, because as everything, life is about trial and error, and this is going to be trial and error. So I'm just sharing our budget with you today. We have never in our lives had a budget before, and it's still in the works, very much so in the works. It is something that we are working really hard on to keep and maintain, and it's still very loose. And I use that term loose, meaning it is still like, it's not, we don't do well with it tuned down to the penny, or like budgeted down to the penny. We have a very loose budget, but we know the what we need to do right now. Like our goal right now is to get out of debt. Well, excuse me. We have done really good at that. Last year, 2014, in November, we paid off 2 huge debts. I'm talking about $10,000 and over. Not totally in that year, but that's when they were done being paid off, was in November. And then this month, our goal is we are buying bunk beds for our girls. They need them really bad. They're sharing a full bed at the moment, and we have one credit card that we are trying to pay off this month. And this month is almost over. I'm hoping that it can be done. I'm not sure. It may take some of the first paycheck of February, so we'll just have to see. But we're striving towards, that's our goal that we're striving for. So something that helped me is this. I will link the links below from Pinterest, but I found these printables for a budget binder. Now, please remember that I've never had a budget. I've never done anything. So what this is very simple, and it may not, like, if you are really into a budget, you're probably going to laugh at it because it is just that simple. But it's a good starting point. So here's the front. It's a free printable. I just took a plain white binder that I already had here at home, and I did it. Now inside, this is probably not the best, but it has, you know, the pockets and stuff inside. I'll put it there. So in the front pocket, I'm going to print these. I'm going to make a printable for these. One notebook sheet is to keep, let's see, can you see? One notebook sheet is to keep up with our daily spending. And if we spent none that day, etc. Or where we spent, what we spent it on. The second notebook sheet is for groceries. Things that, like, to keep up, because I want to try to stay below $400 every month. And so anytime that it's groceries or household related, I write it down on that piece of paper, and I keep up with a total beside it. Like right now, it is the 24th, and we're at $326 for the month. And we are close to running out of everything, but that's another story. And then in here, I also, because I look at this every day and I update it every day, that is something that works for me, is updating every morning. That's like one of the first things that I do. So I keep in here things that I need to remember, like the girls' soccer registration information, when that's due and when I need to take them over, and then coupons, stuff like that. So the first page is meals at a glance, and you can see I've crossed out a lot. So I keep these sticky notes. I got them at the Dollar Tree. They stick pretty good. So I just have this. This is a video I wanted to do, and it's also a new cleaning routine that I'm trying out. The next one is like suggestions for I'll probably always keep a sticky like this on this page. It's suggestions for meals for the next month or next week or whatever. Then there is a grocery list. I don't really use this. I probably will. You can print all this stuff out together or just page by page. So I probably will print out extras of this and start using it every week because it is good. It's big. I can keep up with it easily. But usually I just put my grocery list on a sticky note like that. But on this one, I keep it in this binder in the page protector, and I just have things that we need around the house, like we need some light bulbs, I need whiteout and big safety pins, and I need a sewing needle I need new sewing needles for my sewing machine. So then we have the month at a glance for January. And on here, it just lists out all your bills. Your mortgage, your health insurance, car insurance, homeowner's insurance, car payment, all that kind of stuff. Extras. So I know our extras for the month of January was, these are not really extras. This is not really an extra. Mike has to have his hair cut every 2 weeks usually. And I cannot cut his hair. I butcher it, and I'm not going to put a risk of that for that. But thankfully we have actually 3 great barbers in our church that own barbershops here. So he goes to them. So I put in the haircuts there. I budget $30 a month for haircuts. That's the haircuts and the tips. And that is non-negotiable. I just needed a place to put it. This month, the extra expenses was going to be the soccer registration and soccer cleats. The registration includes uniforms. So anything extra for that month, I put there. Then savings, they have a starting balance, what you deposit during the month, if you've made any extra income that you're going to be depositing in there, and then your ending balance. And it has goals for next month, and we'll fill that out. But what I wish it had, and I wrote on here, was goals for January, which was pay off the last credit card, the soccer registration, and the bunk beds. And hopefully all 3 of those will be met. Looks like they will. So there's that. And I haven't really gotten into this yet, but they have a year at a glance. And then it has like your start checking in for the month of January, your savings beginning, savings ending for the month of January. That's just going to be trial and error. I'm not sure if that page is going to work for us, but we'll see. And this is the weekly expenditures, which is kind of what I just had on the notebook paper because this was so big. Like, it's not everything I was not going to put on there. It would take 10 pages. And then they have the monthly one just like it. And I'm going to cover the savings and the savings. And then they have outstanding debt. So I have wrote down all of our debt that we owe. I wrote down who we owe it to and the amount that we owe. And it has a space for account numbers, but I haven't done that because I don't need to. I keep up with that somewhere else. I would not want it in here where it's so easily accessible. But that's it. And as we go through paying off our debt this year, I will highlight all those off. That, because it's like a victory. I usually put the payoff letter on the refrigerator because I'm like, woo, thank you, Jesus, you helped us. But like I said, we're really simple-minded with the budget. We're just starting, literally just starting. And it is going to be a struggle because we have not always been smart with our money. We were really smart kind of before we got married, or before we had children. When we first got married, we lived overseas. My husband was stationed there. He made a lot of extra money, even though he was a lower rank. I worked 2 jobs. We didn't have children, and we paid off $25,000 in debt. When we came back to the States, we had no debt. And then we thought we had to keep up with the Joneses. But the problem is that nobody told us the Joneses are going bankrupt themselves. And I wish that that's something that we had known. We bought a new house, we bought a new car, we bought all new furniture, we financed it all, and it was just really dumb. And then you feel like because you've already set that standard for yourself, you have to keep up with it. But the reality is that when you're a stay-at-home mom and you only have, or dad, and you only have one income, that's not feasible. You can't really do that. That's not something you want to strain yourself doing. And it almost caused my husband and I to divorce. And then I got sick. And when I got sick, we had nothing to fall back on. I mean, nothing. We almost lost everything that we had. And I'm just being real here. And that was a real eye-opener. Now our kids have college funds, savings accounts. We, for the first time ever, have a savings account and actually are depositing money into it that we're not taking out at the end of the week. And it's really nice. I guess we're growing up. No, I'm just kidding. You should do this from beginning. But I never had that guidance because my mom was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, my mom was a single mom who worked 60 or 70 hours a week, and still we lived paycheck to paycheck. You know, she got child support, but it went to pay school tuition at a private school because she wanted the best for me. And I'm very thankful that she did that. But I'm not saying I want to be better than her. I would never say that, because my mom was great, and she was great to me, and she still is, and I love her very much. We all do. But I want to take that and make sure that's something I change about my children. I want to teach them from an early age, where she couldn't teach me because there wasn't anything to put back. So that's that. If you guys have any tips for me or ideas or something that you've used, or maybe a printout that you've used, that would be great, and I'd really appreciate it. Something else I wanted to mention in this video, I just kind of combined two in one, is I watched The Not So Ordinary Housewife, and she started a coin challenge. Now, this is something that we've kind of always done, and I will tell you who is a pro at this is my little sister. She just recently had a baby about almost 4 months ago, and even before that, she would draw out all the money that she needed for the week in cash, and she'd pay for everything in cash and save her change. And when my dad, she's the youngest, and when my dad got really sick and he could no longer work and he couldn't get disability, and there was no, the only income coming in was her and my sister at the house, and they were trying to go to school and work part-time, and it hit the fan. I mean, there was all these bills and no money, and she was like, well, back in the safe back there, I got $400 and something and change, and we were all like, what? So she's a pro at it. That's really who I should have taken lessons from. But the Not So Ordinary Housewife issued a challenge, or she started this challenge where it's called the Coin Challenge. So every month, I think it is, you save all your change and then you roll it up and you decide what you're going to do with it. I think we're going to split it between our girls' savings accounts. I'm not totally sure because we haven't had our budget meeting for the month of February, and we're not going to roll this up for January. We're going to wait to February. But either we're going to save it and our girls split it up and put it in the girls' savings accounts, or we're going to put it towards a debt. I'm not sure which one. But this is what we've saved so far, and we do have some already rolled. But we've been doing this forever, and it's actually a really good idea. Some people have hundreds of dollars. Like my sister had hundreds of dollars, and she actually told me that last week, I think it was, that. Sorry, I thought excuse me. She said that they have been saving change since Braden was born. That's my nephew. 3 months, and they already had almost $100 saved that they put in a savings account for him. So it's little things. You have to be creative and proactive and determined about whatever you're going to do. So there is my beginner's financial video for the day. If you want to see more videos like this, maybe updates or something, let me know in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of our daily lives. I hope y'all have a great Saturday, and I will see y'all later.